Hey YouTube, hey y'all, hey, what's good? What's good? Okay, I know I didn't make no announcement about this video. This is just my haul, and haul videos is a thing YouTubers do because as content creators, it's often difficult to keep coming up with new content. So a popular thing that YouTubers do is haul videos. Um, to share what things you went out shopping for or didn't go out shopping for thanks to COVID. Uh, and show everybody what you brought home. Hey, look, Candace, how you doing? Welcome to the chat. So, just in case you didn't see the title, this is a gardening video. It's a gardening haul and it's a gardening video. It's gonna be gardening hacks in here. You know, I got followers who follow me for other topics, but this is one of my passions, near and dear to my heart. And I like sharing that side of me to those who have similar interests. Okay, thank you. I'm glad you're looking forward to it. Okay, now, my assistant, I'm going to need their help right now. I forgot an important thing, as always. I don't care how prepared I get or think I'm getting. I forget something. And the something is I need something to cut open the boxes from the haul. And then I'm going to explain to y'all how that's going to help you in your garden. Yep, I left it. One moment, I got to get the cutter, box cutter. Sorry about that. Trusty box cutter. And my assistant is about to help us get the things we have for the haul. Can y'all see that? Not far enough back, I don't think. Anyway, I got a table loaded over there with stuff that I got online and at box stores. Hey, Mama Sis, when you get it? Hey, I see you. I see you now. All right, we're going to start with the sprayer. The sprayer. Thank you. Now, it has come to the need of having a sprayer because those mints out there have grown so ginormous and the ants just love that. So we have a proliferation of ants and we got to calm that down. And when I'm gardening indoors and I want to tackle the bugs, I don't need no more than this. And the secret to getting that gnats, pesky gnats that come in when you buy fruit, you can't help it. It's just a fact of life, plant life. You get gnats. You mix 1/3 peroxide with 2/3 water in a bottle like this. You can spray that all the time. But these ants, on the other hand, they covering a lot of ground, and they happy that I gave them all them mints out there to chew on and take back to their colony. So we're gonna have to do some bigger jobs. So I got a 2-gallon jug sprayer for that purpose. It's 2 things that my mints have to worry about: ants or other insects that like them, like caterpillars, and crawling insects like slugs. Yeah.
Remember when we saw Uncle saw a slug and then I saw a baby slug?
Yeah, it's some slugs down there. So we gonna help them get out of that plants mint.
Wow, really
Them my mints. Huh?
that really is good.
Yeah, you can hold a lot. So the other thing that mints have a problem with, run into, which is what we're going through now, because it's hot. I don't know about y'all, but I'm hot. I think it's 80, at least 80. I don't know. I can't tell. 80 degrees. So when the high temperatures rise and then drop to lows, because this is still technically our spring, we still got about 19, 18 more days of spring before really full-fledged summer. Mint makes mint susceptible to powdery mildew. So we're going to be mixing a potion of cooking oil, dish soap, and baking soda. So that brings me to tip number 2. Baking soda is your friend in the garden. And don't let nobody deceive you with all the super gadgets this and super gadgets that. Baking soda helps with a lot of things. So if you gardening in your yard, I am giving you another tip. Go and invest in a big, giant, industrial size bag of baking soda. You're going to be using it a lot. It helps with clearing out your sink. If you do have gnats and fruit flies or whatever in your sink, that done put a nest down there. And every time you come back to your kitchen, you see them fluttering around. Get you some baking soda and apple cider vinegar. And that will take care of them gnats in the drain. Now,
Nest in sinks?
Unfortunately. Okay, our next box, which I am excited about too, is another way to dry mint.
Now this one is the one we bought, not the ones we
Yeah, this is the one we bought, and somebody was so generous to buy us an automated one. But
yeah, but we bought a new one because the other one's way too small. But we just use it for other things.
it's not way too small. It's just that I'll be using that for me indoors. And this one we're going to use outdoors. We're going to use Mother Nature. That's the difference. So what this next item is a dryer for plants. There was a bonus that came with this, 2 pairs of pruning scissors, trimming scissors, which we're going to need when we get to chopping down all that mint. Oh my God, y'all should see how big that mint is now. It's ginormous. It's bigger than what it was last year.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah, that's not gardening. Matter of fact, put that in my room. Thank you. Now, this is a dryer for you to dry mint or that just popped me in my face. Oh my God. Oh y'all, that gave me them the bloopers you don't be expecting. Okay, it pops out, so that's a hazard you need to be aware of. Ooh, I think I might have a nasty bruise right there. Ooh, that thing smacked me in my face. I wasn't ready for that. This thing popped out of the bag when I unzipped it with poof.
How do you put that in?
But anyway, ooh, this thing gave me a good one. Smacked me. Smacked by the herb dryer.
Well, that's all.
Anyway, I don't think we can fit this whole thing in the camera.
Yeah, it's way
Maybe my cameraman can help me. It's about 6 feet tall, I think. Just about. I think you gotta go downstairs. Yeah, I don't want to do that. That is so cool.
Oh, and it has like individual.
Yeah, so we can do a lot of mint like that. And a lot of herbs too. Yes. So I like that. I like that. I'm very happy about that purchase. Because we've been drying mints and picking mints for 3 days, haven't we already? And if that was 3 days, how long you think the rest of the
Jeez.
ooh-wee?
Alright, and then
Our work is cut out. Okay,
last
now,
thing.
thank you, Ostara. If you don't see this video, what is the official name? Let's see. It says it says active gear guy, but I need it for herbs. It's nice and big, and the herbs that I plan to dry, especially the medicinal herbs, you don't want to make the mistake of not drying your herbs properly. Because after you done waited all that time, months, for it to go from a baby plant, girl, what is you doing? You know I got stuff planted in there, right?
No.
No, you don't. Don't do that. Okay, so Ostara Skies, I think that's her name. Her YouTube name, Ostara. Thank you, sister, for the dehydrator. This is gonna save me from not having to come outside. Because I hate the stairs. My knees hate it every time. But this is a food dehydrator. And we're going to be dehydrating all kinds of stuff. We got strawberries. Yes, they are. They did say something. Somebody said.
There's only one person.
They could leave. I don't trip over that. They test the replay. I don't trip over that. I don't have no video of the 0 views, so even if they ain't here on the line, they can here put the box, get that started box. Okay. Oh, this is cute. Thank you, Ostara. I'm a very humble person. Huh?
Nice to fit in the kitchen.
Huh?
Nice to fit in the kitchen.
Yeah. Okay. This is the hydrator, electric, by Commercial Chef. Now, I'm gonna have to find out what that official name is, because, honey, these people is overworked and underpaid. Why did you do that? Don't. Because they've been sending these packages without no box or nothing. I ain't gonna throw it away. Hand me that dye to make sure. So thank you for the hydrator, Ostara. I will be putting that to use soon, and maybe we will share the video of it, of us using it. Right now, put this in the house, and we'll do an inside house video of drying mints indoors. Take this in the kitchen. Alright, this diatomaceous earth, it didn't even come in a box, child. That's a dehydrator that will dry out your plants or fruits. You know how you have beef jerkies. People make strips of beef jerky and fruit chips like strawberries. They slice them up, put them in a dehydrator and dry them, and then you can store that for indefinite periods of time. That's one way you can store it. I just want to mention how they been sending my stuff without a box or nothing, child. I guess they so overworked and overpaid. Amazon, UPS, USPS. This didn't even come with a bag, but this is diatomaceous earth. This is what we would be putting down on the mints because we got an ant problem. If you want to do gardening organically, this is your answer for all crawling insects. Now, the good part is they get them all. The bad part is some of those crawling insects is ones you want in your garden, which is earthworms, because their poop gives the plants food. So you may not want to use this until you really have to, but we really have to. Those ants are everywhere. Everywhere we reach is an ant running somewhere. I'm tired of them. They got to go. All right. Is it one more? Is that it? I think that's it for the haul. So, yeah, I like that drying bed. I don't know what the official name is. Let me see the box. See who will say it on the Amazon box. The official name of that garden dryer thingy. Let's see what it says. It's called Active Gear 8-layer enclosed hanging mesh dry rack for herbs. Yeah, it hangs. That's why I bought it. I'm putting it right on that. When we cut all that mint down on the side over there, honey, I'm putting it in there and hang it right on that clothesline out there. And it ain't gonna go nowhere. Ain't gonna get dry fast in the sun. It's called an enclosed hanging mesh dry rack for herbs. And you can use it for herbs, buds. They do even mention buds, which I plan to use them for. Buds. Sure do. So it's an enclosed hanging mesh dry rack for herbs, buds, fruits. So you can do the same thing. A dehydrator that does it electronically, you can do the same thing naturally from Mother Nature with that mesh bag. I do like the fact that it folds up so when you ain't using it, whereas that dehydrator, you gotta have counter space, which I don't have. But that's what this is. It's a mesh dryer. It does the same thing. It allows you to have your herbs outside, lets the air through because it's mesh. You can put your herb right in here. In fact, we got some out here that we've been doing naturally. So if you don't want to spend the $30 for this, you can still dry your herbs naturally with nothing but air. And I set this on my table and all the herbs dried just fine. But if you got more herbs like I do than just what fit in that little pan, you're going to want one of these big ones. This fine and dandy for personal use. That's the most trouble I saw in all day. Anyway, it does the same thing that we did naturally. Now, when you do it nature, Mother Nature wise, it takes about 3 or 4 days for it to be completely dry. And you don't want to make the mistake, as I was mentioning earlier, for them to be wet in any kind of way. You want it to be crispy, where you can crumble it up just like that. That's when you know it's ready, when it crumbles like that.
That means it's nice and tight.
If it's not crumbly, it's not ready. And you ain't nothing worse they're making a mistake after you done waited for everything to grow and dry, and you leave the water in it, and look what happens. It turns black. So it ain't gonna hurt you, but this is a sign of too much water and didn't get a chance to dry quick enough. So we gonna salvage the ones we can out of here. Hey, Christy Lewis, how you doing? Welcome to the Hey, Donna. I have some questions about transplanting. Oh, okay, good. You're bringing that up because that's what we're going to be doing next. We got a bunch of transplants to do. But we only going to show you one on camera. But these are stems that rooted after we picked the best leaves to dry. And like I was saying, the worst thing you could do is after all that work of picking, that you mess up with the drying process at the end. End up with mold, or in my case, a lot of black leaves, which ain't gonna hurt you. You can't eat them, but they not too appealing. So I'm just gonna get the ones that turn black out. Although black ain't a bad thing. It don't look good. So we're going to put the rest of these in our dehydrator we just got. Thank you, Ostara. Thank you for my follower, Ostara, that blessed me with that dehydrator. I just wanted to make sure I gave her some thanks. We gonna that was apple mint that I crumbled in my hand. Anyway, yeah, the disaster that can occur if you don't dry your herbs out well is you can end up with mold. You can have the leaves end up turning black like that. You don't really want that. Now, if they done right and properly, this is my herbs mint from last year in the fall. Still smell fresh. It still smells fresh. We still use it for tea. In October, I harvested my mint over there. Now I got more than what I had last year. So we're going to hurry up and put that to tea use. This is my spearmint. And you see it was done correctly. So you don't see all them black leaves.
Ooh,
it's supposed to look so like that.
Good.
Yeah.
That would be great in tea.
It is. It's tea. That's how we use it. So we're going to get all of those over there in the yard, honey. We're going to get them together now with the drying. We got 2 ways to dry now. Indoors and outdoors. Matter of fact, put that back in the kitchen. On the same cabinet with the red bowl. On the top shelf. Thank you. Okay. So, what was the question you want to ask me, Donna? About transplanting. Go ahead. I hate that I'm not on StreamYard. I'll get on StreamYard later on tonight. But I wanted to do this outside, and I can't bring that computer outside, so. It is getting hot, though, so I'm trying to get through before the sun is in my face. So what was the question you had for me, Donna Woods? Yeah, so those are my hard things, and I'm glad 2 pairs of trimmers came with that. Now that was a deal that nobody else offered. That was on Amazon. Shout out to Amazon for throwing in 2 pairs of shears in with that drying thing. We gonna need them. My whole family gonna be cutting these herbs. That's a whole bunch of herbs to do. What's your question, Miss Donna? I'm not sure, you might be at work, so you can't answer me right away, but hit me up in the email Because otherwise, we're going to just move on. Because one of the things I'm going to show you that I am going to transplant today using my pop bottle planters. I'm not going to show you how to make it today, but I'm going to show you that I really do put it to use. And this is how I use it. I'm going to transplant my basil. Oh, whew, I'm an old babe. So all you do to the mint is tear or cut the leaves and lay them flat. Yep. And let them dry. And let them dry. Now with this one, I did, see, this is why I say when you watch YouTube and everybody give you a different method to do things, this hanging from the stems, it's okay, but it's not my preference, because I got patience. And we had them hanging, and we from the Comsey family. My family kept knocking at all of them all over the place. So I don't like that. Nay. It's Nay Love. Hey, Christy Lewis. Okay, so I did want to transplant one plant because I want to plant one plant and transplant one plant because I'm good about never getting around to something, and Mother Nature don't wait for your time. Because they were still wet. They were still wet, and I put what I did, because I didn't want them to blow away, I put a aluminum top over it, trying to protect them. And that didn't help. That kept the moisture in. So that moisture, the ones that were black, this one too much water. You don't want that. You want the air to be able to go around the whole leaf. That's why I leave them it open. And I leave it open inside where I don't have to worry about the wind. But with these dehydrators, I ain't going to have to worry about that no more either. The natural one where you just use the wind, that works just fine. Don't let nobody lie or deceive you. It does work. You don't have to go out and buy one of those. But because I want to do a whole bunch at one time, that's why I got it. Because even that dehydrator is the one that I was gifted with. That's actually too small for the job. So I'm going to use the big one to tackle a bunch of them at one time. Yeah, the moisture was trapped when I covered it up with the other piece of aluminum foil. And I shouldn't have did that. But if I hadn't put the aluminum foil over it, they would all blew away. Because we did have a heavy rain and lots of wind. Because a lot of stuff was tumbled over on my porch this morning. So it would be enough air going through through the cracks. Because it wasn't a perfect fit. But it wasn't. So that wasn't a good thing for those. But it didn't happen to all of them. So they still salvageable. It was just some that was more wet than others, and that's because the moisture was trapped in it. That's what happens when they turn black like that. It's because too much water. And most people, their biggest mistake is overwatering plants. You really got to use the soil. You cannot go by you did it today or yesterday. You need to stick your finger in there. And with these pop bottle planters that I've been teaching people how to do, you can visually see when all the water is gone. So that's one thing I like about that. That's what you can't do with a regular pot. So I don't know what Miss Donna's question was about transplanting, but my plan was to transplant one plant because of the stuff that I did get in my haul. Now that's what I'm gonna do right here. I let these stems. These are the mint stems and oregano stems, and this oregano is so abundant that I would just be heartbroken if I don't get a clone. But this method right here, where you put stems in water and wait for them to root. See how they root? That's called cloning. And the big techie name is propagation. That's the word that I got in my title. I plan to propagate my garden with these plants and using the stems to start a whole new plant family. So this one has a lot of roots, and I almost waited too late to get this going into a pot, but I'm going to demonstrate that right now. I use my pop bottle planters all the time, and I'm going to transplant this from a stem in water to a pot of soil. And I had already had this pot created, and I've already done videos on how to make these, so I'm not going to make that in this video. I'm just going to do the transplant. So now this pot needs potting mix, so go over here and get it. So I don't have no tip. I'm not endorsed or sponsored. So I'm not gonna tell you no specific brand that you need to use. Just tell you that it need to be a potting mix, because the potting mix usually gives the plant enough food to make it for the first beginning of their life. So I'm gonna pour some in now. Not all the way to the top, because this is a transplant, remember? So I'm put it in halfway, and now I'm gonna fill the rest with the soil. Now this stem is going to have a whole new life, and I want this one to grow because this genetics is strong. See, the year before last year, I couldn't get my oregano to grow. So I bought one that was already growing from Lowe's. That oregano, whatever species that was, it's a strong species. So now I'm going to water it real good over the top. And I didn't fill up to the top because with the nets, I don't want them to make no home in none of my plants indoors. So I take the extra added step of putting net mix. This help combat the gnats too. Now somebody told me pencil shavings work. I haven't tried that, and since I spent that much money on this, I'm using this for the time being. So this is my oregano plant that's going to go inside. Not going to grow outdoors. I want her to be a bougie oregano plant and be indoors. So that's going inside. Now, I bought 2 new plants from Walmart. Excuse me. Here. And I bought 2 from Walmart and 2 from Lowe's. Now the ones I got from Lowe's, I'm gonna put transplant outside, because I'm gonna have that going with the sage. But anyway, what I wanted to mention about these is that you can get this at Walmart, and I know I said this in other videos, year round, but I feel like I can't say this enough. Year round, and you could get it with the EBT card, okay? Because it's food, and it's in the fresh food produce. So if you want to get started indoors, because not everybody blessed to have a big yard like I got. You might be in a cubby hole. You might be a college kid. You ain't got nothing but a cubby hole. You can grow indoors. I have grown with ordinary, excuse me, I have grown plants with ordinary light bulbs, fluorescent light bulbs. Grew the whole plant. Hey, sistress. Hey, oh, thank you. Amazing working content. Hello, oh, that's Chrissy. I said hi. Thank you, Sis Trish, for joining. Okay, so that just about, yes.
Can I say something?
What do you want to say?
So, because you're talking about like other things to garden on if you don't have a backyard. Me and my mom tried to make a garden like in bottles, and we just like strap it to our balcony.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it's no reason not to grow. Let's go, let's grow. So now, I'm going to transplant these. I was waiting for Donna's question. And I was hoping I could probably answer it with this transplant. But I'd rather move on to what else I'm doing. I just wanted to show y'all my personal progress with my garlic. Because people don't believe me that all you have to do is add water and you can get your garlic growing. So now all my garlics, you see, got a little sprout on the top. See that? Now they ready to be planted. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Me and my posterity. That's what we're going to be doing. I wanted to answer a question about transplanting. But I don't know what happened to Donna. She probably working. So Donna, Christy Lewis, you cut stems, you wash them, pat dry with paper towels, remove the leaves, and lay them flat. The water is gone from the leaves, but need to dry completely out. Right? You know, you can it's to me the natural way. Just waiting the 3 days. I think that's the only difference between, you know, an automatic hydrator or even the big thing I got. I got that big thing because I know it's a lot of men out there. And after I cut them stems, eyes gonna be tired. So I'd rather just put them all in there and let Mother Nature do that thing. Especially because it hangs up. You know, that's gonna be fine with me as long as it don't rain. And by it being lightweight, I can bring it in the house if the weather is not inclement and still be drying. So I just think the natural way is good enough. I showed y'all my tea. That's what I did last year, and I didn't have no problem. You can't get your oregano to root. I cut some 2 days ago. The bottom stem is turning black. Okay, here you go. This one thing I'm going to tell y'all. Don't think you did something wrong, because that's just a fact of life. Some of the stems are going to be stronger than others. The ones, that's why you want to get a lot of clippings if you can. So I was fortunate. Y'all see my little Afro puffs over there. I was fortunate. I got a lot to choose from. But if they start turning black, just take them on out, because here go 2 of them. They done started turning. So they just, now I got a compost pile. I don't just throw it away. But then the rest of it, The rest of them, they still looking okay. The rest of them, I just gotta wait. Sometimes they just sometimey take time, take longer than others. So each stem, if you think about it, it's a living thing. Each one got their own little clock. So when they turn black, dump them. Uh, I was trying to find another oregano, how it's supposed to look when the root come out. I just planted that. I hope it's another one in here. No, I just planted that oregano that was rooting. All the rest of these are spearmint. I got any rooting in here. So with me, what I just learned with the oregano, it just take time. It just take time. It take longer. And the ones that turn black, don't sweat it. Just take it out and let the other ones continue to. What helps though is to take off all the leaves. See, I had a helper, and we were supposed to be getting all these leaves off, which we still are, just not on the live. The fewer leaves you leave on the stem, the better, okay? Because that's going to force the stem to want to save its life and reproduce. Now, you ain't do nothing wrong. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose some. They all have a different genetic. Just like we all, each individual human got a different genetic. Each branch coming off that particular plant got a different genetic, and some is weak and some is stronger. That's also how you can tell what your weak leaves are in your garden, because that's what the bugs attack first, is the weaker leaves. So it's good to get them out of your garden. Physically remove them and pinch them out. So basically that was it. That was the crux of it. All I'm going to do now is mention that I do want you ladies to come back, or you gentlemen, if you got kids. I think that the raising a thinking child is a wonderful introduction into my life. It was introduced to me when my 30-year-old was 9 years old. So that's how long it's been. And I've been giving this book away to anybody who wants it. If you interested, it's an easy read. If you want to join me tonight in a panel discussion, I will be showing you and demonstrating you with my grandchild how to play the game. And this is geared towards the younger kids, 3 to 9-year-olds. And then now I got a workbook that I sent off for, because my grandbabies is now older, they preteens. So I got the workbook. I also got the Raising a Thinking Preteen book coming. It's on its way. I will be giving it out. If you just want the book, you want to learn more about critical thinking, just hit me up in email, fatforlifetv@outlook.com, and I will send you this book. That's on me. It ain't no contest. It ain't got to be so many people get in the contest. If 10 people show up in my email and ask for critical thinking, all 10 of y'all gonna get this book from me. That's my gift to the world, because it helped me. I flash back on Biggie and Tupac, and when they do the documentary, that whole documentary is evidence of our lack of being able to critically think. That group thinking is thinking. I don't care what nobody told you. I'm telling you otherwise. You got to be able to critically think, especially here in this internet society. It ain't about to change no time soon as far as how we interact, as far as this social media goes. So it's just so many shady predators online that will take advantage of vulnerable people. And I've seen and witnessed with my own eyes, I've seen 40 and 50-year-olds that lack critical thinking. So I was shocked. I thank God that it was introduced in my life It definitely changed my life for the better. I seen it, that's in my kids. Okay, you sent me the question. Oh, I'm not an expert like that. I'm not sure about peonies. I've never grown them. I always wanted to. Peonies and hydrangeas are two that I always wanted to, and I just tried hydrangeas. I've been struggling with them. I don't know. I can tell you the rule of thumb with most plants. I'll give you for an example. Even though I don't know nothing about this citronella plant, I got a citronella plant here. Even though I don't know nothing about that plant, one thing I do know, if I pick a stem that's not woody, in other words, it got to be pliable, soft, and bendable, I know that I could get a transplant from that stem. And that's what you got to pick. So when you pick a stem that you want to, a plant that you want to populate, you got to pick a stem like this one. Is green and it's still bendable. That's how you could tell it's bendable. If it's not bendable, you hear it crack or snap, that one is too old to try to do it with. So I'm imagining peonies have stems. You can test the stem. If this is that's a fact, even if it's a rose or marijuana, you pick the stems that are green and the least woody, where you can bend them. It's pliable. So that's the first strategy in trying to get more plants from your plants, is pick the stems that are not woody. This wouldn't be a good candidate on this citronella plant. See, you can see that it's visually it's brown. It's woody. It's very hard to bend. But this one, on the other hand, would be a good one. Right here, this green one. That would be a good one to clip for the purpose of trying to get it to root and become another plant. That rule applies with basil, parsley, oregano. On the actual plant, you want to pick the younger, greener stems. Hey, Ben Stinker, how you doing? Was that your question, how and when you could transplant peonies? See, I don't know the ins and outs specific to that plant, but I do know as far as transplant, I have done it multiple times with different plants, and the best ones or time pick stems or cut stems for that purpose is when they still green, like well, for example, these oreganos is pretty much too old for the task, because these are woody and hard. But this one is very green and bendable. Okay, so that one is good for a stem. But on this particular oregano, I don't count it out because two of the older stems have rooted for me. So that's a strong genetic. This one was rooting, even though this is an older stem. So it's not impossible to get roots from an older stem. It's just easier to get it from a younger stem. And then I would speed up the process once I go ahead and take all these leaves off. But my little helper got tired that night and didn't realize she had this many still left to go. So we'll be doing that later. Anyway, back to raising a thinking child. I'm going to mention that again because I want you all to join me as I share that with the world. I really would like to have people join me on that. But Thinking Thursdays, y'all know I got to have my signs. I finally made a new one. Thinking Thursday. Teach your family how to become critical thinkers, okay? Panel discussion every Thursday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. I tried to make it where I'll still be up but it won't be too late for me to hang. Some of y'all was night owls, and I pay the price the next day. But today, I'm going to take a nap. When the sun come down on this side of the street, I go ahead and take the nap. Now, I wanted to transplant this basil today, but I'll say that for another video. Anyway, y'all can see how my garlic is making progress. I want to come out here in the morning and go ahead and plant them. You'll get to see me plant them. And that's it. That's all for this one. It was mainly for the haul. And to explain why I needed those items from the haul. So that was my contribution to the stimulus. I stimulated the economy by buying some things that dry my plants quicker and more efficiently. The hand way is fine with me, but that's if you got patience and you can wait the full 4 days, 3 to 4 days that it takes to do naturally. As I said, I don't have no problem with them doing it that way. But if I'm going to be commercial with it or sell it to people, they ain't going to wait 3 days for their herbs. So that whole section I'm going to trim down because I want it to grow and flourish some more. I mean, you know what? I'm going to take a look tour down there. That's where I'm going to end my video. Y'all really need to see this mess. I want my other plants to graduate to the way the mints are, because I have been abundantly blessed this year with that mint. I'm gonna try to do this without breaking my neck. Okay. Yeah, mint is easy to grow. I didn't have no problem. The ones that I put in the yard, they grew indoors all winter. So that was good enough for me. And like I said, I ain't no shame in my game. You can't get those plants year round from Walmart with the EBT. So, okay, I'm going to take this journey. You're going to hear all these grunts and groans. People keep saying I'm not old. Yes, I am. Because I know 80-year-olds that don't suffer like I do. And a Sprite. They can move around quick and fast and light on their feet. I'm none of the above. Okay. Let me turn it around. I need a newer stem. Hydrangeas is very hard to grow. Yeah, I'm having a hard time with my hydrangea. Look at that mint. Look at that. Oh my God. And see, you can see where I cut some mint out in that section. It took us 6 days to call that mint. I never seen that much mint in my entire life of living at all. But we got to get out here and harvest them. I see a whole lot of tea in my life. Anyway, I just wanted y'all to see that it's been hot. And we gonna got to come out here and manually water things because it look like my zucchini babies are struggling over there. Oh no. Yeah, I gotta order a nozzle. That's one reason why I haven't came out here with the hose. My nozzle is broken. I just want y'all to see all that mint. Yeah, the newer stems you could put in water. And almost every plant I have done, I've been able to get to root. And you got to use the newer stem. Now that's my hydrangea struggling. It don't like the heat either. I think I have my hydrangeas in the wrong place. I think they need to be on the side of the house. See, that's one. Oh, my shadow is covering it up. That's one right there. And that's the other one. I had to put a cage around it because my clumsy self, kept stepping on it and broke the original baby leaves. So it's struggling to catch up to the other one. But so I be having mistakes and problems. Like, look at my roses. They overheated too. They all exploded at once. And I want to get some new stems and try to grow some indoors, hopefully. But I don't know. I don't know if that's going to work. And I'm very disappointed my rain catcher didn't come. Because I was planning on using God's water right there to be watering these plants. But I got to get in here and take care of these potatoes because they are getting ginormous, steady reaching for that sun right here on the corner. I got to heal it up because the stems are susceptible to that heat. But I want to do that in the morning. So when it's cooler, because it's hot, I'm finna get up in the air condition now. Anyway, I appreciate y'all joining. That's all I got to share for now. I appreciate each and every one of you. And as always, peace and love. I'll see you again in the next video. And please don't forget about Thinking Thursdays. That's tonight, 7 p.m. Okay. Bye, y'all. Hey, y'all. Hey, Facebook. Hey, y'all. Hey.